You're doing a very wonderful job staying tuned in the #1 business channel, that's Smart 24 TV. And we say we drive your business. This is the point, and I am with Dr. Clark today. We are discussing the global financial crisis, what could be in for us as Uganda, but also how government and other institutions can manage risk. We run in the business of risk because you cannot get return most cases without risk, and usually the higher the return you expect in any particular investment, the higher the risk. Now, Doctor, you've just mentioned some of the things you've actually been able to do, especially in the line with financial inclusion through DALI, reaching out to different people through agency banking and all these ideas. How can us as Ugandans also be able to safely tap into this space of financial inclusion, but in a way that is well managed, especially in as far as the risks are concerned? What can the regulators and the policymakers do to work with financial institutions to ensure risk management practices that are effective and transparent? Just giving an example, for example, the parish development model, which has one of its pillars being financial inclusion.
Yes.
When I looked at last year when the program was being rolled out in February, there was a lot of misappropriation of funds. You would find the cows using the money to organize meetings, and at the end of the day, they lose the objective of actually this money reaching out to the person whom it's meant to help, so that they can actually return that money. So how can we better manage these funds? How can we better manage risk?
So I want to first put a disclaimer on this, your last statement, that you find cows misappropriating funds, organizing meetings and workshops. If I am introducing a product to a community, do I just go and drop money there, like on a plane, and drop it and leave it there and tell them this is the PDM, Parish Development Model Manual? Figure it out? Just a question. I think my starting point would be organize workshops, sensitize the people, sensitize the public. What is this parish development model all about? What are the advantages? How is it structured? How are we going to benefit from it? And how do we grow it? And how do we avoid saying this is free money from government, but it is money which has to revolve, that it reaches out to many. That is where financial inclusion comes in. That you're now looking at a structure where there are groups which are accountable to each other. With financial inclusion, we believe that people have assets, but the assets are not liquid. For example, land. Find a person has land, very huge chunks of land. But when you value the land, you actually realize that they are not poor. But they are living a poor life. They are using just a portion for subsistence. So the PDM comes in, and the beauty is that it's a program where the president is so involved. And I don't think that the president of the Republic of Uganda is a joker who wants to see jokers joke around with the people's development. He's going to follow up to the dot of this. If other programs failed, at least I know that the PDM, he's going to follow up to the last dot, where it went wrong or where it is right or happening. But I think I've read about the Asian tigers, how they became so. 1960s, we were all at the same level. This is the model. Chinese model. Build community, social capital, and on that social capital, start economic activities, sensitize, train them to focus on commodities or products that they have an advantage over in their community, and then teach them to trade, not to beg. I hate a statement which I normally hear to our government to Yambe. In English means that we are begging government to help us. Who said? I mean, the first question would be, who is government? Government is me and you. When I go cast my vote for an MP, I'm already party to it. When I cast my vote for president, I'm party to it. But remember that government is an arm of judiciary, parliament, or the legislature, and the executive, which represent the interests of a sovereign state. Yeah? So, they technically, I call these people here, these the three servants of the nation. Because they are supposed to serve us. Some you go, they sit, swing in their chairs, they feel like they are goddesses or small demigods. I normally just even look at them, and at times I just give a smile and a bye-bye, because I'm like, I go to Katanga, talk to those people, I know how they live. I go to villages deep, training people, financial literacy, product development, growth from resources they have. I never sit more than 30% in an office. Everybody on my team globally knows it. I'm a field person. So you need me, find me in the field with the people, not swinging on chairs, drive a four-wheel drive, and say, oh, we are building a nation. No, that is not financial inclusion. But financial inclusion goes with the access. How do people access? Build a system whereby there's a starting point, village saving and lending associations, groups. Yeah, you know those groups? The village ones, the small ones. Some call them the village banks. They put money in some suitcase or a box, grow them to like a savings and credit cooperative, then create linkages with financial institutions, maybe more microfinance institutions and banks. Then once that is done, ensure that you have an economic activity which is driving production, what we call a pull and a push. The challenges in this, which I found when I was dealing with refugees, that is like a year and a half ago, 2 years, is that I went to financial institutions, about 6 of them. Only one jumped on board with me. They're like, we're gonna take the risk with you. Where are you? I told them, we're in West Nile, we're dealing with the urban refugees, we're in Southwestern, and I told them, let's just go to West Nile alone, right from Arua through that, the Moyo, of course, the MVP, Rhino and all that, Yumbe, all those places, to Adjumani. I told them, I don't want you to sit in the town, drive with me to the settlements, and be sure that you want to be on the same bus with me in this financial inclusion. 5 financial institutions fell off. They're like, who is going to de-risk our money? How are we going to collect the money from that place? They're like, how are we going to trace these people? All those questions came up. One institution said, Kisembo, we are going to stand with you. Let us go. By the time you have confidence in it, and you're a financial architect, you're a financial analyst, you understand economics, you understand finances, you understand the lives of the rural poor, the people down there. Because I've lived with them, I've worked with such communities. They say, let's go. That financial institution is one of the greatest spread financial institutions in this country, driving financial inclusion. I won't name it because I'm not here to advertise for it, but that's one case. The other case is I had to go to MFIs, mobile financial institutions. Then came the tools. Okay, what about the tools? How do we get the money? The gadgets, you know, smartphones at one time were like 900,000 Uganda shillings. Now you can get a smartphone even at 100,000. I tell you, there are these ones which they call Ugandans. There is a way they call them. You can get a smartphone for 50,000.
Yes.
Put some apps, but you own a smartphone, right? So we're like, what about the gadgets? So the gadgets, we've worked with some partners, and the people can access their accounts. They can access their money on the phone or the agent. We've worked with SACCOs. We've worked with SACCOs, over 240 SACCOs. You know a SACCO? Savings and Credit Cooperative. Microfinance institutions, I think I've worked with about 50 to 90 plus. And to enhance them to understand what financial inclusion means. And financial inclusion, I don't want people to live this day thinking that financial inclusion is just for the poor. Please mark this and mark it so well. If you're working in a bank, in a telecom, insurance company, corporate body, and by the 15th day of the month, you're figuring out how to survive, you're also part of one who needs financial inclusion. Because you don't have, I would say, one of the aspects probably of financial inclusion, which is personal financial management. If you don't have that, it doesn't matter whether you're in a bank, whether you're in a corporate. If by the 15th day of the month you're running broke, trust me, you also need to be financially included. No matter whether you have an account.
Yeah.
So people think that it's about the poor, money comes from donors here and there, people run around in Land Cruisers. Me, I can even take a border. Me, I run a global company, 86 countries, but I can be on a border on a rainy day in those rural areas.
Preaching financial
inclusion. Ask some people in these tall buildings in the towns here in Kampala, that even going to Chisenyi in Kampala, they'll feel ashamed. I don't feel ashamed with my PhDs, with my vast investments and empire I've built. I don't feel ashamed. It's more about building, seeing a holistic growth of a community and a nation and then continent through the interregional, you've heard of REX?
Yes.
The Regional Economic Commissions, because I know where Africa is going. Africa, we have a 2063 agenda. I would task you, Mr. Sebali, go to government offices, go to private sector, go on the streets, ask them how many have heard of Agenda 2063 of Africa. How many know what is in it? Do they know about the African Free Continental Trade Area? Do they know about the free movement? Do they know about the rights to access to finance by all, whether you're considered poor or rich? I'll leave it at that.
Doctor, as we conclude, you mentioned something very interesting, that if you run out of money on the 15th day of the month, you're not financially included. Who is a financially included individual?
A financially included individual is one, and I'm going to start it in my own vast years of experience of understanding, who understands that there is an aspect in life called finance. And finance is very pertinent to day-to-day life. once that understanding comes in, that if you lack the finance or finances, then you're going to be excluded, which means go into production, produce something which you can sell out. And not only just in liquid money, but it could be barter trade. I give you this, you give me that. That is also trade. You know, you have to trade. Then, where do you keep your money? You can start small as a group, keep it with the treasurer, but accelerate opening up accounts with the financial institutions, MFI circles, and then be able to have a track record, a transactional record, credit record. Because normally we write in exercise books. I go to those rural places, they are writing exercise books. If it rains, you're like, what is here? They say, I don't know, maybe something. You can't tell. Tell them, no, get the financial records. And then with these financial records, you can be able to access credit from financial institutions, because now they can trust you. And then when that credit, don't get it and go marry a third or fourth or fifth wife, or go buy a Land Cruiser or a Boda Boxer. There are others, it's 5.3 million right now. There are others of like 3.9. Invest that money.
Investments.
Because at some point, it will be important. A person who has insurance is financially included. Uptake of insurance in Uganda is 1.5%. I'm not sure whether you're insured, but I'm sure you are. You are insured, yes. 1.5%. All these insurance companies you see are running up and down. Recently, they were celebrating something like awards, insurance awards. I was on TV, I was saying that, what are you celebrating?
With 1.5%.
With 1.5.
Thank you.
When I'm in micro insurance, I know there is 90% persons who have never even heard of insurance.
Thank you, Dr. Clark.
Thank you,
for
sir.
those wonderful insights. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Dr. Clark Chisembo for you. He's the chairman of the Development Associates Link International, and we've been sharing about the current global financial crisis, risk management, and financial inclusion came in at the end, which was quite surprising. But very well fitting. Thank you so much for joining us. We've seen many of you online. Thank you for the comments. I've seen Kingdom Kampala here commenting on the show, Sophia, and a couple of other people. We wouldn't have enough time to read through all the comments, but we are so grateful. And keep watching Smart 24 TV. A lot more business coming your way. See you. Bye for now.